Hey everyone, this is Sunglass Rob from SportRx, and I'm here with my friend Todd Woods, professional angler and sponsored Costa ambassador. And I want to know the difference between the drop shot, Carolina, and Texas rigs. What's going on here?
All right, so we have a couple of rigs here that I want to show you. I'm going to start out with the Carolina rig.
All right.
Okay. Now the Carolina rig, basically what you have is your main line with a swivel, like so.
Okay.
And then you have a little bead, and then you have a weight. Your weight size from about 1/4 ounce all the way up to 1.5 ounces. And did you hear that?
Yeah.
Hear the way it makes that sound? It's kind of when it hits that glass bead, makes like a ticking sound, and that's what attracts the bass. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So as you're dragging the Carolina rig, it's picking up a little dirt on the bottom, and it's creating like a little dirt line. Well, it gets the fish's attention, and they see that dirt moving. And then they see this bait coming from behind, this worm. It kind of floats from the top and sinks down really, really slow as you're moving along. It just kind of cruises along there. And so a larger fish thinks that this particular bait is also attracted to the noise, and so it eats that bait.
Okay.
Yep, that's the Carolina rig.
That's the Carolina
Yep,
rig.
and you can use this rig from January 1st to December 31st year
Okay.
round.
It's
Yep.
year-round rig.
Yeah, and then the next one is the Texas rig.
All right.
As you can see with the Texas rig, it's also loose, except the weight is on the bottom, or the top of the worm basically, or the top of the hook. And this is something that you want to keep if you want to keep the bait on the bottom all the time. Okay, when you throw it out, and when the fish grabs the worm, it doesn't feel the weight. That's what the sliding weight on there. It actually doesn't feel it, and so you're able to set the hook that way.
Okay.
And it's a bottom, something that works on the bottom when the fish are looking down, looking at crawdads, or, so that's that. And then probably I'd say the number one technique is the drop shot. And the drop shot has the weight on the bottom. Again, the weight's on the bottom, as you can see. And then the worm has a lot of action to it. So when you throw it out, it drops on the bottom, and the worm will slowly sink with slack line and hit the bottom. And then when you go to lift up the line a little bit, the rod tip, you see the movement, all the movement, even though the weight's still. So it just kind of keeps everything on the bottom, but in a suspended mode, just like that. You just kind of shake it and let it go down back to the bottom. So it's almost like it's a bait that's injured, that's kind of trying to get its life back.
Okay.
And then a fish will grab it, think, oh, there's an injured worm or, little fish.
Easy prey.
Yep.
Is there a time and place you would use one versus the other? Like, what's the mentality of picking which one?
The drop shot is really good. You use really light line all the way down to 4-pound test.
Okay.
And so if the water's super clear and the fishing is really, really tough, a drop shot works really, really well.
Okay.
I would say it's also the easiest because a lot of times when the fish will grab it, you might not feel it, and the fish will hook itself.
Oh, nice.
So that's what's good about that.
That's a good
little
beginner one then?
Yeah, good beginner deal. The Texas rig, you can fish a little bit faster because you have a heavier weight.
Okay.
So you can just kind of drag it along the bottom. You can make a longer cast with a Texas rig, and you can also fish that on a bait casting rod.
So maybe a little more technique involved?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can shake it, and drag it along. There's just certain times you want to knock it along the rocks, where they can hear it.
Okay.
And then the Carolina rig is almost, I call it the fast rig because it's heavy, so you can make a long cast with it, and then you can move it real fast. And the bait, because there's so much slacking in the line, like as you can see when I made that cast and the bait was right here, the bait didn't start moving until, as you pull it along later.
All right, cool.
And so that's why I like the Carolina rig, if I'm in a hurry, but I still want to fish a worm.
Nice. So that's the drop shot versus Carolina versus Texas. I know a lot of people are curious about the 3 different ones and when to use them and what they look like. So hopefully that video was informative. If you liked it, we'd love a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. All right, we'll see you out there. Later.